to family with resources. Contributing to a great childhood can be as easy as being a good neighbor. For more, preventchildabusefl.org. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Investigative journalism. It's the difference between the Action News Jack style of news and everyone else's.
I'm Ben Becker. This scam is targeting residents on the South Side.
We investigate so you're crystal clear how a story impacts you.
I'm Emily Turner. Look at the fine print because you're still getting billed.
Because our reporters don't just tell you what happened. We break down how it affects you and your neighborhood, which is why people are putting their trust in us. Action News Jacks at 5 and 6. It's local coverage you can count on.
Get rid of that pain in your joints so you can enjoy some of this beautiful weather in Northeast Florida. The future of medicine is here with QC Kinetics, and all you have to do is get a free consultation and take care of that pain. 904-274-5522. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades. Regenerative medicine. You need to call QC Kinetics now if you're tired of those achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love to do. Surgery, steroids, drugs? No, those aren't the options anymore. We've got a better option with QC Kinetics. Regenerative medicine is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing, Dr. Scheinkup is a pioneer in this field, and he wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. So call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
I'm Christine Lisi. Raptors forward Jonte Porter has been banned by the NBA for gambling violations. ESPN NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski.
The league's investigation found everything from limiting his own participation in games, sharing confidential information with known bettors, and betting on as many as 13 NBA games himself, including betting the Toronto Raptors to lose.
The NBA said the investigation remains open and it is sharing information with federal authorities. Pelicans power forward Zion Williamson will miss Friday's play-in game versus Sacramento due to a hamstring injury. The matchup determines the West seed. 76ers star Joel Embiid expected to play in the East 7-8 play-in matchup against the Heat tonight. He tweaked his surgically repaired knee last week. After the Sixers and Heat, it is the Hawks and Bulls in the East 9-10 game on ESPN. It's a matchup also available at 9 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Baseball, Padres ace Yu Darvish has been put on the injured list with a neck issue.
As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live, U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Wednesday. How you doing, Brian Middleton, behind the glass, super producer.
I can't complain.
EP to end all EPs.
I cannot complain.
My name is Aaron Schachter. This is the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Brian, it looks like you've just read an interesting football report. And people who aren't watching on the video stream, by the way, you could watch us at YouTube, ESPN 690's YouTube, also the Aaron Schachter Show's YouTube, as well as on Twitter, a.k.a. X, as well as on Facebook. But for those of you not able to watch, Brian looks like he is in disbelief. Have the Jaguars conducted a trade, Brian? Is there something amazing that we need the breaking news sounder?
I can't wait till the next break.
Don't worry about it.
What are we about 17 minutes? I can't wait till the next break.
It sounds like you got stuff to talk about. It sounds like it's not for the audience. If you're waiting for the commercial break. You're waiting for the commercial break, I see.
How many years ago? That's it. How many years ago?
It might say in the text. I don't know. But right now we're talking about things the listeners have no idea, unless we're going to share with the class.
Nah, it's an inside joke. I'm good.
Okay. If we're not going to share with the class.
Yeah, I'm good.
If you're not going to put your job at risk.
Well, it's not me. Yeah.
Oh.
I got you.
Oh.
I'm not putting the jobs at risk.
You're not putting my job at risk, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not putting jobs at risk.
Well,
I can't wait till the break, though.
Let's not tease everybody who doesn't know the information. Let's just keep it to ourselves.
Holy smokes, man. Yo.
Let's just say this.
Kind of energy.
Let's just say this.
One-sided, though.
The business within which we work, you and I, radio, has been a wild place for quite some time.
Hey, man, the people y'all hire, man.
A wild place for quite some time.
Direct.
Maybe I can say this on the radio. Let's see.
No, let's not do it, man. Let's not do it. Hey, man, looking out for us.
I feel like I could be safe about it.
Okay.
By the way, the person that text has passed away. They're no longer with us. But Brian is looking at a text, or I should say multiple texts that were sent to me by a person who is trying to be, let's say, provocative.
Trying? Succeeding.
A person who is being provocative. A former coworker. Now, you'll see in those texts, I do not answer back.
Hey, man, that's why you solid, man.
But
100.
if you were to see the other 70 texts, I left that person on red. I did not engage. I was afraid it was a sting, a setup. I thought there would be a Diddy-style raid on the other side of those texts.
My man.
So
that's how you got to move, man.
I didn't want anything to do with it.
Nothing in the open. Nah, I'm good on this. This is too low-hanging fruit. Nah, I'm good.
But this was 13 years ago. Enough time has passed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know about your boy Aaron. I keep all the receipts forever.
Hey, man, because you never know when people going to try to come back and,
Or you never know when you need to mention it on your radio show to start off the day.
That's outstanding. I still can't wait till the break, even though you answered like 4 questions just now.
And you haven't even really seen all the texts, but unfortunately, we need to move on.
Yeah, let's do that.
I do feel bad not including the listeners in the fun and games.
It'll be all right.
We don't necessarily have brand new Jaguars news, but yesterday we got to the Trevor Lawrence press conference. We never got to Foye Oluokun. And if I'm being candid, Foye Oluokun is hands down my favorite Jaguar. Hands down, not even a competition. Sure, I love Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk. Seem like solid dudes, great football players. Travis Etienne, always a smile on his face. Trev with the golden locks. My son is a huge Trevor Lawrence fan. But Foye Oluokun has always been really impressive to me. And I think it's because I'm biased to the fact that he went to Yale. I feel like anyone who goes to Yale often will not choose the NFL as a profession. Then again, here comes Foye making dozens of millions of dollars. And he's got to know, just like everybody else, that these careers in the NFL are not long. Right, he's here making dozens of millions of dollars over the course of 5, 10, 15 years max. I'm not sure how many linebackers make it to the 15-year mark. Probably not too many.
Yeah.
That being said, he's not just a smart guy. He's a tremendous football player. Tremendous. Often at the top of the league in tackles. Last year, I think he was 4th in the league. Year before, I think he might have led the league. I got to double check that before I start screaming that out on the radio, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Tremendous player and obviously tremendous leader. He's a team captain. And we get to hear from him on some of these thoughts he's had over the offseason and some of the things he's learned over the last couple of days at Everbank Stadium. Are you a Foye stan, Brian?
Yeah, I like him. I think he continually gets disrespected.
Whoa, disrespected from who?
In the league as a whole.
By who?
Well, when you start talking about accolades and you start talking about, hey, man, we're starting to put some of the best linebackers in the league. We start naming them off, just boom, 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 boom. I never hear Foye outside of Jacksonville sports media. And I'm sure it was the same way former team, I believe, Atlanta. Yeah.
Hot Atlanta, as the residents like to call it.
And I guess I was guilty of that because I believe his final season there, he led the league in tackles, and then he came here and did the same thing that following year in Jacksonville, and I think he was like top 2 or 3 this past season. So, it might be a deal where it's just like, he's just not going to be a household name because tackles in and of itself aren't the flashy stat like sacks or interceptions or something like that. But I got to tell you, man, I think he is definitely one of the best in the league when you just go by position. He is always around the ball.
Yeah.
He is always, seemingly, from the outside looking in, layman's terms, where he's supposed to be. I could be wrong, but it seems like he has always found a nose for the ball to be where the play's at so that the defense has the best chance of executing and stopping the offense. And that's hard to find across the league.
Well, funny to me because his job as an off-ball linebacker is to stop the ball's progress down the field. I mean, he's supposed to be the tackling guy.
Yeah.
He's not expected to rack up the sacks or the interceptions, although he is asked to go into coverage quite often. But he's a tackling guy. You're not getting past Foye. This isn't a guy who most of the time, I should say, is going to try and arm tackle you with a hand. He's taking you down if you're getting close to his radius. That being said, last year he was ranked 20th ranked linebacker in the league. Devin Lloyd actually ranked above him as far as PFF is concerned. But standout marks all throughout the grades, whether it's rush defense, even on pass rush when asked to do so, dropping into coverage. Very consistent player in Foye Oluokun, and obviously we love him here on the team, and he loves being here, as we've heard a few different times now. I'm going to need my hotkeys up so I can play some of these cuts, Brian, but we start with cut number 1. The last thing that we heard about Foye Oluokun is that he got the contract extension. He got the contract extension. He converted some of that balance into a guarantee, and so the media wanted to know about the timing. I think the story here that no one wants to mention when they ask the question, the narrative they're looking for is for Foye to say, yeah, well, we needed more money to sign a wide receiver or a cornerback. Like, I think everyone is curious why the Jags are starting to stockpile salary cap. I think the count right now is right above $31 million.
Yeah.
Second in the league. Is there a big move coming? Was the Foye contract part of it? Let's ask Foye.
The guarantee was up after 2 years, so it's really depending on what the team wanted to do. So I talked to my agent and said, if they're trying to keep me around, I'm playing pretty good football right now. I want to stay a Jaguar, and I talked with Coach Nielsen before the extension and everything. I had a lot of confidence where he could take my game personally. And I just wanted to play for coaches who trusted me and an organization who trusted me, rather than hitting the whole market again after this year and stuff. So it kind of gives me some security, helps the team out with cap space probably. But at the end of the day, it's about, if you guys respect me and like me around, I definitely want to be here.
Here's what I like about that. He says something that I think not too many people consider like a pro versus a con when talking about becoming a free agent. Because I think the number one thing for all football players when they got free agency coming up, if they're not getting the deal from their team that they're playing for, they're like, all right, it's time to make some more money. It's not, if Josh Allen hits the open market, it's not 28.5, it's probably 30 plus, like Brian Burns did. But instead he stays in Jacksonville. He didn't necessarily give a true hometown discount, or maybe he did, but it's not like he's the 10th highest paid defensive player in the league. He's up there in the top 3. But Foye goes, hey, rather than hit the open market, do it all over again, trying to prove my worth to all these teams, Jacksonville knows. To your point, Brian, maybe they're not talking about him on the national broadcasts. Maybe there are coaches on other teams who have heard of him but haven't really studied on him. And here's Doug Peterson and essentially Ryan Nielsen and Trent Baalke and Shad Khan and everyone looking at Foye going, yeah, no, we want to keep a guy like this around. We didn't necessarily draft him, but we don't want him going anywhere.
No.
Love it. So the other new thing in Foye's life is this defensive coordinator, really the whole staff. But what do you know about the defensive coordinator? Have you dug in on the playbook yet? What do you know about Ryan Nielsen?
Pretty hard-nosed, a lot of good energy coming from him. Kind of runs a straight ship. I think the guys will respond very well to that, keeping guys accountable, and we're all going to play as hard as we can for him. We really haven't gotten too deep into schematics, but there's just watching the way that Atlanta played. They attack, they're downhill, they play fast all over. It's all about effort, and I think that's where he's going to keep our standard to. Playing hard, playing aggressive. If we just take those outside of scheme, just take that style of play, I think a good deal of things will happen for us.
Brian, help me put the puzzle pieces together. Yesterday we heard Trevor Lawrence talking about Gabe Davis and Mitch Morse, and he gave him a compliment. Do you remember the compliment?
He was a hard worker.
They're hard workers.
Yeah.
They go, Foye Oluokun, what do you know about Ryan Nielsen? What do you like about Ryan Nielsen? He's like, hey, man, he runs a defense that is fast and hard and expects hard work in return.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of that hard worker narrative. So maybe every team says stuff like this. Maybe. It's certainly like one of those cliche things, right? But the clues are in the details.
Okay.
And if it's the first thing mentioned by all the captains, to me, That is strategic messaging. I've been in enough of these meetings, enough of these strategic planning conversations to understand messaging, internal and external. These answers that Foye Oluokun has given the press at the podium, sure, they might be on the spot because he didn't have the questions beforehand, but he understands the message that he wants to get out. He understands the message Doug Peterson and Ryan Nielsen and Press Taylor, for that matter, and Trent Baalke and Shad Khan want to get out there. Jaguars are a hardworking football team. No one's going to out-effort the Jacksonville Jaguars as far as they are concerned. When I hear them repeat stuff like that, this is what I think they're talking about. You know, it's time for a Brent Martineau appearance.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday, the count was 3 out of 13 questions for Brent. That's a pretty heavy count.
Yeah. It's almost 25%, man.
In the MLB, that's an all-star game appearance.
Hall of Fame career.
Similar amount of questions in Foye Oluokun. Brent ups the ante. Brent gets 4 questions in, including a follow-up. I mean, this man is a man after my own heart. I think he's listening to this show going, I gotta do it for Schachter.
Them other people don't want it.
They don't.
They don't want it like Brent wanted it.
Do it. I gotta read you. I didn't get to the bad questions yesterday, and I regret it. The bad questions today are just as bad. Stuff like, they asked Foye Oluokun, do you look forward to getting back in the building?
What?
What exactly are we trying to figure out here?
What outlet? You know, they like to say their name in the outlet all the time. What outlet was that?
Can I be honest? Can I take down the fourth wall here?
Let's do it.
Because Brent previously had asked me if I was going to name names. He didn't necessarily tell me to or not to. I won't go that far. I was trying to read between the lines back then, and I thought it made him a little bit nervous. Yeah, these are his, like, coworkers and stuff. Not necessarily on the same team, but, like, they're in the same places all the time. I wasn't trying to screw up his relationships.
It's the Aaron Schachter show now, though.
I would 100% say names. I'm not sure whose voices is whose.
Oh, okay. So they didn't do that this time.
Maybe what I should start doing is actually cutting the audio of the bad question.
That'd be amazing.
Like, even if I don't have the name, at least people can hear the voice.
Yo, that's a new segment, please.
Okay.
I'll help out with that.
Listen.
He's got to give me a heads up.
I'm not scared of these guys. Nobody is. They're certainly not the athletes.
Not a one.
Not one.
I want to make sure I understand before you go further with that question.
All right.
Somebody who gets paid money from an outlet apparently here in Jacksonville went to Foye at a press conference where he's taking a limited number of questions. He's not standing there for 35 minutes and all questions, all comers, come on. And they ask him, a guy who has led the league in tackles, I believe 2 out of the last 3 seasons.
He did not lead last year.
So the prior 2 seasons then. Yeah. They ask a guy who has been more than passionate, even though as even keel as Trevor Lawrence, and most of the times you hear him speak from his sound bites on the media, whether it be TV, whether it be radio, however you hear him. They ask him, make sure I got it right. Are you excited, NFL player who's worked their entire life to get to one of these goals right here, which is a professional NFL player? Are you excited to get back into the building? That was the question.
I mean,
with a period at the end of it.
Verbatim, word for word, and it's a question mark because he said, do you is the question, not you are. I'm only saying, Brian, I'm only saying that because some of these bad questions aren't questions, they're statements, and they're terrible.
What if you said no?
And now I feel like I got to spend the whole next segment only going over bad questions. So let's pause on this bad question and get back to the Foye press conference.
Okay.
Now you've wet my whistle for the toxicity.
Hey, yo, calm down.
Now I want to get in there and start digging at people, especially some of these people who don't get back to the Aaron Schachter show when they ask them if they want to be on for a segment. I may have an axe to grind.
Oh, boy.
Just saying. Not afraid to say it.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to all the people who try to ghost me. You're getting yours. Better believe it. Anyway, back to Brent's question. Brent wants to know. He goes, hey, you've got new voices in that locker room. Is it refreshing to have the change? Do the old voices ever get stale or monotonous? I heard this question, and I was like, is that a bad question from Brent? I got to think about this. Because I don't think you're going to find Foye Oluokun going, yeah, Caldwell, I was so sick and tired of that. Forget it. Like, that's not happening. But it did elicit a thoughtful response. Check it out.
I don't know about stale. It's NFL, so like every week, you're playing for your life, you're playing for your job, you're playing for a lot of things, whatever your why is. I don't think anything ever gets stale and monotonous. I think, a new guy coming, with his energy and passion, you maybe feel that might give you a little jump start. But
by the way, he is talking about Ryan Nielsen there, new guy with energy, that you feel that. All the guys who've been asked about Nielsen are talking about the energy he's bringing to that locker room. I'm so bad at this.
What do you mean?
I accidentally stopped the clip. I didn't intend to. I'm just awful at this.
I will play it back.
Let's see if we can get this fast forwarded.
I don't start, but at the end of the day, what we were doing last year wasn't working. So now that's why you have this new coach, and we're all excited to get this thing jumped off on the right way and improve ourselves, improve our defense. We got new guys coming in who've played on, high caliber defenses. So whatever they're seeing, we're all receptive to it. Whatever the coach wants us to do, we're receptive to it because we know we have to be better than last year.
This is interesting. So in addition to the high energy, which he pointed out, again, in the details, you will find the truths. In addition to the high energy, he's specifically talking about some of these guys who are experienced, coming from great defenses, who are collaborating with other players and eventually that coaching staff once the defense gets installed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think they're talking Ronald Darby. I don't think they're talking Darnell Savage, even though they came from decent teams. I think he's specifically talking about Eric Armstead. As a matter of fact, I don't have to think. We know. He was asked. The question was, what have you seen from him so far? What have you seen from Eric Armstead? What is he bringing to the table?
Great player and part of a great defense. So not only his abilities on the field, but his leadership as well, holding that whole room to a standard, being able to be an example, and then coming, seeing what he sees we need to do differently, and try to implement things that he knows works to the whole defense.
So there it is again. Not only is he coming from a great place, not only is he a skilled player, but when he sees stuff, he's pointing it out. This is 2 days in. No?
And it's not a no. It's
you're expecting this. You're like,
yeah,
this is
two-folded. It's like, Foye, what do you want him to say?
What do I want Foye to say?
Like, what else could he say?
He could have very easily said, hey, this is a great player. He showed it over the last couple of seasons. We're excited to have him here. Lots of pressure up front. The end of the comment.
Yeah,
Instead,
he said a variation of that.
For the second comment in a row, instead, Foye goes, hey, man, when he sees stuff going on, he's telling it to us. We're all collaborating on this thing. It's almost as if he's implying a guy like Eric Armstead is an assistant coach in terms of that knowledge.
Okay, maybe. And you know what? Listen, I like the in-depth breakdown of that. It feels like a lot of proper speak about how you respond to a question like this so you can get the reporters out of your face and you can get done with it. But I don't think that he's being disingenuous at all.
It sounds like you do, but look,
it sounds like stock answers with the Foye spin on it.
I disagree. A stock answer would have been talking about his play on the field because you can do that without knowing anything about the man. You could do that just by looking at the stat sheet and being like, oh, man, he's great at rushing the passer. Great tackler. Oh, man, he's got a big get up and go. Great first step. But that's not where he's going with it. Foye is a leader, and he thinks through the leader's lens. He's like, how is this team going to get better? It's not just going to be about adding talent on the field. It's going to be about growing people in the locker room. Matter of fact, Foye went into depth about that locker room later in the press conference. Was it a Brent question? No, it was not a Brent question. I'm sorry, I don't know who it was. But the question I liked, we've now seen multiple players say they want to be here or they want to stay here. We were just talking about this yesterday. That's not something the franchise has heard through the years, Brian. So what does that say about the buy-in on the team right now? As far as you're concerned, Brian, you're hearing this answer no matter what it is, and you're like, well, of course, he's going to answer positively, right? You're not going to answer negative. What does it say about the buy-in? I don't really think we have buy-in. He's not going to say that. But the way in which he answers it, the way in which he talks about the locker room, his locker room, tells me something about this franchise.
I think we have a great locker room, first and foremost. A lot of the guys always have a chip on their shoulder. So when you come here and you're working with other guys with a chip on their shoulder, it's just infectious how.
Well, timeout. Penalty flag on the play. He's a Yale grad. Infectious isn't a word.
Personal foul.
Personal foul. Now, I don't mean to nitpick. I apologize. People hate it when you grammar police them. But if we're talking about an Ivy League grad, you got to get infectious. You can't say infectious.
Are we certain that infectious is not a word?
Looked it up on multiple websites. Wasn't going to come on the radio and be a jackass without any proof.
I would, so that's why I asked the question. Okay.
I still love Foye, but no more of that infectious stuff. But he also talked about the chip on the shoulder. Brian, I think it has a lot to do with what you were talking about. What does the fourth leading tackler in the NFL have a chip on his shoulder about? What does one of the best tacklers of the last decade have a chip on his shoulder about? What is a guy who just got a contract extension with tons of guaranteed cash have a chip on his shoulder about? The same thing the rest of the team has a chip on their shoulder about. Jacksonville doesn't get any love. They don't get any respect. You listen to the national media, it's like a play date with Jacksonville. When things are going good, they flirt. When things are going bad, it's same old Jags. No one ever expects this team to be the 8-3 team we saw last year. No one ever expects this team to be the team that we saw destroy the Chargers' psyche in that playoff game. Bring Bosa and Herbert to tears. Chip on the shoulder.
How much we want to play with each other, for each other, always for the brothers. And then when things don't go our way, like last year, a lot of weight kind of, we carry a lot of the weight, those guys that you mentioned earlier. So we just want to get it right together. And I feel like, not getting it right, you kind of let your brothers down a little bit. You let the guys in the organization down, up top and stuff, because they feel that same pain that we do just the same. Like, it hurt a lot. So bringing the new guys in, they see how hard we're working, trying to right our wrongs and stuff. But I think the reason why we wanted to stay is we wanted to get it right. And we have a beautiful opportunity as leaders here. So if they all trust us to do it, let's go do it.
I would follow this man into the fire. Leader. Teaching his brothers.
For the brothers.
The brotherhood of the Jaguars.
Oh, I thought he meant, I was like, for our people. And I was like, I appreciate you, Foye.
You're not talking about snow bunnies,
nah,
right?
Nah, hey, listen, you're welcome, but that's not who we're talking about.
Just checking. Do you have a name for people who aren't snow bunnies?
Well, we'll talk in the break before I say that over.
You'll figure it out. Okay, you'll get permission.
Over live air, yeah.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, this is a leader, clearly.
Absolutely, Aaron.
Clearly concerned about his team. Not to keep picking on him as we go to break, but do you think Calvin Ridley was concerned about helping develop his brothers in the locker room?
You're gonna have to see different contexts, different things are required from him. So no, but I don't think that's a fair, even trying to correlate the two.
You don't think it's apples to apples?
I don't think that's fair on Cal Ridley.
I think you're making excuses for him.
No, not at all, man.
Sounds like it.
I don't know.
Sounds like you are in the Calvin Ridley excuse-making business. CEO Brian Middleton.
If it's paying right.
Well, he's got a lot of guaranteed money to shove off to you, man. It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. Are you buying what Foye is selling? Because it doesn't sound like Middleton is. I am. You can make faces, bro. It does not sound like you are buying it.
It's not buying. It's, as a Jags fan, year after year, you hear this from guys who you think have the character and have the ability, like a Foye Oluokun. I'm trying to get out before this music ends. And you either have a 9-8 season where you have to rip off 6 in a row and have an amazing second half to a wild card game to get into the next round of playoffs, or you have a Titanic of a second half of a season. I'm like, I don't need to hear all that. That's great. Thank you for saying that. Now, for 17 games, just be consistent. Tired of all this. That's all I'm saying.
904-362-9901. We'll be back in a minute on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly to mostly sunny and warm today. Highs in the upper 80s. Comfortable tonight in the lower 60s and partly sunny tomorrow. Your Thursday high, 88. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamond. April means it's buy one, get one on wedding bands, only at Beard's Diamonds.
Hey folks, this is the time of year I get the itch to start de-junking the house and doing some deep cleaning. At Zerorez, our mission is to become the most trusted provider in our industry. We know that trust is earned through honesty, know-how, and good old-fashioned hard work. We would love the chance to earn your trust. For April, Zerorez is offering 25% off on all floor cleaning services. That's 25% off the cleaning of your carpets, tile and grout, vinyl and wood floors, and your area rugs. Zerorez, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerorez. We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Snyderman, can you jump really high? Can you turn invisible?
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Then no.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
If your AC is running but not cooling, making loud noises, or your home's too humid, now you can schedule an appointment online at SnyderAC.com.
You're my hero, Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Wenner is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Jacksonville is the largest city in the contiguous U.S. in square miles. So when you have to cover breaking news over an area bigger than L.A., Phoenix, or Dallas, you need an advantage. Action News Jax, with a fleet of news-gathering drones to take you to breaking news live as it happens. And with more investigative reporters on the ground. In every local county, you're informed no matter where you live. Action News Jax. Local coverage you can count on.
The good folks at Wendy's have a revolutionary new product for you. Introducing the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. It's like a time machine that takes you all the way back to now, the year 2024. It's the classic, creamy, orangey flavor you remember. Dare I say, it's new-timey. It's the flavor you grew up with, just all grown up. Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now. Limited time only at participating Wendy's.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Brought to you by Navage. Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. We just love guys that listen to the Young and Norvell Show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
That wasn't rhetorical, by the way.
Oh.
When do I get one of those?
You have a bad habit of doing these conversations that we're not allowed to include listeners in.
That's the part of our.
I understand. I just remember being a listener, listening to that, going, it's not fair. I want to know. I want the behind the scenes.
That's how you get them to subscribe.
Oh, what are they subscribing to?
To the stream?
Oh,
I don't know. To a new stream that's paid?
I didn't know if maybe you had like a side Patreon that you didn't tell me about.
Yeah.
You're sitting there earning on the side. I'd be down with that. We wouldn't have to tell the company. We just take it to the dome. Let's go. I like it. Pennies on the dollar. Foye Oluokun.
Wow, not going to answer. Okay, Foye, let's go.
I don't understand what you're looking for, if I'm being honest with you. You got to go to the store. I don't know. You got to put in the effort, Brian. That's where you find them. There it goes. You seem annoyed with Foye. Is it Foye or you got other stuff going on today?
I got nothing else going on but this show, man. Amazing from 3 to 5.
I would say maybe not so much. What part about Foye's answer about the locker room did you not like?
Nothing. It just seems, again, like
a stock answer.
What I'm supposed to hear.
All right, so then listen to this, and you tell me if this is another stock answer. The question was, how long did it take you to put last season in the rear view? All right, what do you think the stock answer would be? Because if I'm you and I'm trying to guess, I'm thinking it's one of two answers. It's either 24-hour rule type answer where maybe it's not 24 hours, but it's in the rear view. It was last year. We don't dwell on the past. Look only forward. The other stock answer would be, you never get rid of it. You carry it with you. He was talking about chip on the shoulder. So I would assume chip on the shoulder guy is carrying whatever motivation he can get. As a chip on the shoulder man myself, I, much like MJ, will turn things that aren't even offenses into offensive things.
I've become a great man. I like it.
I will tell stories to myself to really make me upset.
That's great.
You think Foye's doing that or no?
Absolutely. There'll be some of that in there. There'll be a little bit. We've learned some stuff from that in there. We've been able to maybe turn a corner, maybe not verbatim turn a corner.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be all that in there right now.
All right, here it comes. How long did it take you to put last season in the rear view?
I got a lot of questions on it throughout the offseason, and it's hard to think about just when it even started. We started off winning, but we weren't winning convincingly how maybe the score might have showed, but we knew that we weren't playing our best football.
Where are you at so far?
Hey, great opening.
Okay.
Great, honest opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those things caught up to us, and then trying to right our wrongs a little too late in the season, then it's a little bit more stressful when teams are hitting their stride and we're trying to find out how to do things right.
Where you at?
Hey, unique so far.
I feel it's pretty honest. He's basically saying we're watching the Texans on a rocket ship. We're watching the Colts be way better than anybody expected, and we are starting to flail, and it stressed us out. I'm buying what he's selling.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that hurt for sure, and I think it will fuel us. Everybody's committed to doing things right this time around.
Chip on the shoulder guy.
You don't want to say, we don't want to get in that position again, and it starts from the first game all the way to the last, but just keeping improving every week, no matter what the scoreboard is, keeping our standard every week, because sometimes you win games that you didn't play your best. Now you don't learn from them if you're not trying to get better. I think that kind of happened to us, and we're not going to do that this year.
Thoughts?
So the last 2/5 of that statement was stock Senator Oluokun.
I thought you'd have a little problem with
it. But the way that he opened to the middle,
it felt real.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with capping an answer like that because he was open and honest. The one line that really got me was making sure that everybody is committed to doing things the right way. What was happening last season? Who was the uncommitted?
It should have gotten you because it's not the only time in the press conference where Foye roundaboutly or implies there were people really interested in personal stats last year and not necessarily what was happening on the field with the team.
Wow.
Wonder who he's talking about. I don't want to say the name. I don't want you to yell at me. I'm not trying to get yelled at by Brian Middleton. Just a thought. Penny, for your thoughts a little later on when we hear the comment.
Okay.
Brent back in the press conference. He's asking about scheme change. I think a lot of people are curious about this. I mean, they know it's coming, right? Ryan Nielsen brought in everybody talking about man versus zone and 4-3 versus 3-4 and where Trayvon's going to play and how Trayvon and Josh might have their hand in the dirt. Quite frankly, how Josh Allen maybe moved all over the place right end, left end, the middle, all over. Wherever he's going to succeed, they're saying they're going to be moving guys. And so Brent asked him, in regard to the scheme change, does your job change at all? How does Foye Oluokun's job change?
As a linebacker, you pretty much have the same job description. Be the captain of the defense, lead them.
Either of those have anything to do with man versus zone?
In a roundabout way,
No,
but
they
no.
do not. Stop it.
Leading the guys? Yeah, absolutely.
As a linebacker, you pretty much have the same job description. Be the captain of the defense, lead them.
If he's talking about being the captain of the defense and leading them,
yeah,
that has nothing to do with linebacker. That has to do with team captain. That has to do with leadership, being a leader.
He literally just said, as the linebacker, your duties remain the same. Lead the guys as a linebacker. Literally. So it has to have something to do with every aspect of what the defense is supposed to do, whether it
Call
be
out what you see. The techniques and stuff might change in terms of how you play a play, but kind of always the same, like being a linebacker. So I have the utmost confidence in myself to be able to adapt to whatever the scheme change is going to be. But there is going to be a scheme change for sure.
Scheme change coming.
Some circle talk there, though.
A little bit, you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
I like circle talk. I don't like the act of circle talk. This is a new phrase I learned from you yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using circle talk. I'll give you credit for it.
It's got me through a lot.
Circle talking or saying the word circle talk?
Circle talking and being oblivious.
I don't see you as a circle talking kind of guy.
Oh, man, I can do it with the best of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you call it out so easily.
Oh, that's fair.
Josh Allen, when he did his press conference, what did he talk about a lot? Talked about his legacy a lot. He talked about leaving a legacy in Jacksonville. That includes being the best defensive player ever taken here. It includes a Super Bowl. He even said the letters MVP. And so people, I think, are hungry or thirsty to hear that from Foye Oluokun, too.
You think so?
I think now they're looking at Foye going, what about you? Legacy? Huh? Super Bowl? Huh? Want to stay here forever?
Well.
They asked him. There goes, Josh talked a lot about legacy here in Jax. Is that the same thing for you? Are you on the same page? Do you have a different why? You were talking a little bit about his why early on. Foye is one of these guys who absolutely identifies his why on a regular basis. He talks about it.
As soon as I stepped in the league, I always wanted to take the next step, get a little bit better. Coming up to this point in my career, it's always about the.
Oh, boy. Let's try that one more time.
Okay.
As soon as I stepped in the league, I always wanted to take the next step, get a little bit better. Coming up to this point in my career, it's always about the next step, becoming a better player. I feel like last year I didn't take as much of a step as I wanted to, me personally. So it's all about becoming a player I always wanted to be. I always knew I could be. Coming into this year, like you said, leaving a legacy, leaving a mark. I want to be respected around the league. And then, for me, unfortunately, individual stats and stuff don't leave that mark for me. So I know I need my boys to play their best. I need to play my best. And if we keep winning games, then I'll, leave that legacy, have that respect that I feel like I want.
Second mention of the press conference about personal stats and how they don't matter and shouldn't matter. Second.
I can't tell if you're about to pot stir.
Clues are in the details is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly which pot you're about to stir.
Quiz time. Foye Oluokun in his 2 seasons in Jacksonville, according to PFF, had an overall defensive grade his first year of 70.5 and his second year of 75.2. Okay, those are good grades. Those are green lights. I know it doesn't sound good out of 100, but trust me, for PFF, it's pretty good. You're in the top 20, 30 in the league with those numbers. Previous to him coming here, did he ever get more than that from PFF? Earning himself that big contract?
Oh, you're asking me, did he get a score higher than that?
I'm asking you what you think. The numbers are 70.5 is the floor in Jacksonville.
Gosh, I don't know how good he was in Atlanta, so I'll say yeah, sure.
Rookie year, 65.7.
Okay.
Followed it up with a 62.7. 56.6 the following year.
Okay.
47 the year after that.
There we go.
Granted, some injuries in there, lapses in playing time. He's had his most snaps ever the following year in Jacksonville, and he showed he can handle it. Here's a rare case of somebody who proved he's a tackler, but by other metrics wasn't necessarily jumping off the page. Jacksonville brings him in on a significant deal. It was the offseason of significant deals in Jacksonville. And he earned it. He came here and he's earning it still. He earned the extension. He follows up the 47 with a 70.5 and then a 75.2. As a matter of fact, in this season that he was not excited about that he just put in, where he's ranked as the 20th linebacker in the league, in the season where he says he wasn't impressed with himself, as far as PFF is concerned, he posted career highs in coverage, 72.6, a second career best in pass rush, 73 flat. They don't ask him to do it much. 21 total pressures last year, according to PFF. 3 sacks, 7 hit, 11 hurries. Rush defense, career high, 70.2. Overall defensive grade, career high, 75.2. Foye Oluokun seems like he's putting in the work. Seems like he should be appreciative of his personal stats. Anyone wouldn't blame him. Be like, man, you're setting personal milestones. PRs, personal records. He's like, you know what? It's just another day at the office till we get the Super Bowl.
You know, Josh, he was drafted here, so his looks a little bit different than mine. Just being a Jag for so long, you know, being that kind of face of the franchise, look on defense and stuff. Like, I'm all happy for him, and you know, his goals may look a little bit different than mine in that way, but now he's earned his contract, so he's kind of on the same path as me now. Play his best, get the Jags more wins. That's how to increase his legacy here in Jacksonville.
What do you got?
Nothing, man. You know, just okay.
I can't be listening to you giggle and then be on the outside of the joke.
No, he was just like,
Bring
you
me
know,
in, bro.
he
Bring
was
me
like
in.
41 is, you know, finally on the same path as me now.
Is that what he said? That's not what I heard.
No, I'm saying, listen, that's the Brian version of things. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just like, okay.
Here's what I heard. Josh
ahead.
Allen's up there going, I want a Super Bowl here in Jacksonville. I want to be the best defensive player ever drafted here in Jacksonville. I want the MVP here in Jacksonville. And Foye is like, all that's great for Josh. What is my legacy? What is my goal? I just want to be great. I want to be better every time I step on that field. And if it means I'm winning the MVP or the Super Bowl or getting another contract extension or making it in the Pride or whatever you call it, fine. But he just wants to be better every time.
So then between the two, if you can remember Josh's response vaguely enough, which one to you seems the better way to respond? As both of these guys being like pretty big parts of the Jacksonville organization and the defensive side of the ball. Because you were really high on Josh. You were talking about, hey, man, it's all about the team, and it's not about the money.
Yes, I'm biased to Foye's response because I like Foye, but
okay.
I do think Josh's response, if you're a Jags fan, you're welcoming that response a little bit more. Josh Allen sounds like he rides for Jacksonville. Foye Oluokun sounds like a me too. I ride for Jacksonville too. But he doesn't sound like the guy who says it first. That's all I'm saying. Now, that being said, I said at the start of the show, Foye is my favorite player on this team. Favorite player. So no begrudgment, no besmirchment, no disrespect to the man, the Yale grad, who unfortunately used the word infectious. Illegal use of the word infectious.
Not letting that go.
I can't.
Let me ask you this. You know, you had some good Foye cuts here. Overall, whether I think that some of the answers were like already prepackaged, these are the things that you have to say from the actual standpoint of being one of the leaders on the team. Like, if they said anything other than that, that'd be more news. It'd be crazy for them to say that.
That's fair.
So I'm glad that, you know, a lot of those answers fell under that category. But overall, Aaron, aren't you just kind of tired of that too? Aren't you tired of just hearing the answers, whether they're genuine or not, whether they're out of the, you know, prepackaged answers or not? And you just want the Jaguars on week 1. Just look the way that you're supposed to look. You don't even have to be a world beater week 1.
Of course.
Just look the way you're supposed to look.
No, I'm with you on that. But here's the problem, Brian. Week 1, where you want them to look the way they're supposed to look, is like a half year away. We got time. So if the Mans wants to get up at the podium and say a few words, I'm going to go ahead and break it down, because what else are you breaking down today?
Fair. Thank you.
I like his answers. I think he gives effort, not just on the field, but at the podium. And I understand you feel like they're a little stock sometimes. I don't think that's who he is. I think he's a genuine dude. I'm with him. And it hurts my heart that you don't like Foye Oluokun. It hurts my heart.
It's great that you work in media, man. The way you spun that. The way you just spun that story. And now you're acting.
I'm a reporter.
Aghast. Me? Spin? Straight shooter.
I'm a reporter. I'm reporting on what I'm seeing.
Journalist, even.
I've got a report that you are not a fan of Foye Oluokun's press conference.
You must be going to the same source as your friend over across the street off of...
My friend.
What's that, Touchton? What's
that? Hogan, Touchton?
Hogan, yeah. Over there on Hogan. Same sources, huh?
It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. Back with the end of the Foye press conference right after the break.
ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. We have 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. All you have to do is enter the correct keyword at ESPN690.com to be eligible to win.
This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply.
ESPN 690 Pays Your Bills is presented by Underwood Jewelers. 3 Jacksonville locations in San Marco, Ponte Vedra Beach, and Avondale.
Weekdays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2, and 5 p.m. Tune in to win from ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Are you tired of looking at your old, grimy, and mildewy bathtub, looking to replace it with a beautiful walk-in shower, but cash is tight? For as little as $89 a month, no payments for 12 months for consumers who qualify, Remodeling Loans can put you into a beautiful new walk-in shower in as little as 1 day. You can rest easy knowing that Remodeling Loans, a network of certified contractors screened and handpicked by us, offers premier products, top-rated service, and value, increasing the beauty, safety, and value of your home. A new walk-in shower will also provide you with a germ-free, slip-resistant, safe, and beautiful new bathroom. Call 800-921-1403 and take advantage of our holiday special of free installation. Our agents are standing by, ready to schedule your appointment with our design team at no cost and no obligation to you. All callers will receive a free upgrade of premium colors just for calling today. A beautiful new walk-in shower is now within reach. Call 800-921-1403. That's 800-921-1403.
Spring has sprung and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy efficient, easy to clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Meet Mike Lester.
Talent is not going to be the right choice for every single person out there, right? Because everybody is different. We do well when our clients do well. We're literally sitting on the same side of the table with them. We're in this together.
Yeah.
When you do well, I'll do well. Once we have that understanding, then we can come up with a plan that's designed to help you be successful in retirement.
Find out more at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Progressive asks, what do a middle school slumber party,
Let's stay up all night. Yeah!
a sleep-deprived girl, an early morning paper route, and a poorly thrown rolled-up newspaper have in common?
Hey, my window!
They can become a fast-breaking news story.
Sorry, Mr. Thompson.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
back to the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. If you watch the Foye Oluokun press conference, let me know your thoughts, your feelings, or really anything you want to talk about. We take all comers. I'm ADD, ADHD. I'm fine with you guys just taking me on a tangent. That's fine, too. Brian, we're almost done with the press conference. I do have one more cut to play. We will go over the bad questions from the Foye Oluokun press conference when we start off next hour. I've also found yesterday's bad questions from the Trevor Lawrence press conference. So we will go over both those things. Both. I know you love the toxicity.
I do.
We will get there. Something that Trevor talked about at his press conference was about how, the conference seems like it's getting better. The division seems like it's getting better. I mean, quite frankly, the Texans seem like they've gotten better. And so the Jags, are you bystanders? Or are you actively there with them trying to get better? They asked Trevor about it. They asked Foye about it. I thought Foye was pretty upfront about it. You tell me.
It's no joke the AFC South got better. So if we want to be able, it's like we got who we got in a locker room right now. And that's what we're going to take to war with this. So if we want to be able to come on top in the AFC South, like all of us are going to have to get better. We can't squeak by games where we're not playing well. You're going to have the team that plays the best in the conference is going to be able to win these games. I don't really care what the roster looks like. When you go in on Sundays, you play better than the other team and you win. Like, that's got to be us playing better. So let's get better every day so that when we're there on Sunday, we have the confidence that we know we can play.
I think the zest, the zeal for what he wanted to say is there. But I think I'm with you on the stock answer for this one.
Oh, this one right here.
This one.
In particular.
Specifically towards the end of the clip.
Games where we're not playing well, you're going to have the team that plays the best in the conference is going to be able to win these games.
Okay.
You don't say.
I know you went to Yale, but that's not Ivy League level math.
That man said, let me break it down for you, okay? Appreciate you, Foye.
Yeah. No, you hope you win the games.
I had no idea.
You hope you win the games. You hope you win the division. You hope you win the conference.
Now, do we win the games by scoring more points, or is there another equation?
I know if you watch the Jets, maybe you think it happens some other way. That's certainly what happened to me last year. But no, you do win by scoring the most points. Boy, come on, man. His heart was in the right place. He's basically saying, everyone got better. We need to be better, or else we'll be sitting at home again next offseason. And he ain't wrong. Quick break for the Sports Center. We'll come back on the other side with Jacksonville media's worst questions of the press conference. It's the Aaron Schachter Show.
My son and I just built a rabbit hutch for 2 bunnies he got the girls for Easter. That gives them a dog, 3 cats, a snake, a gecko, and 2 bunnies. At Zerez, we love pets. If you're a pet lover and need some help cleaning up after those furry friends, give Zerez a call. For April, Zerez is offering 25% off on all floor cleaning services. That's 25% off the cleaning of your carpets, tile and grout, vinyl and wood floors, and your area rugs. Zerez, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerez.
Jacksonville, Florida. AEW is coming home to restore the feeling.
Brother, I am the feeling.
For 2 huge events live from Daly's Place. All Elite Wrestling presents Dynamite on Wednesday, April 24th, and delivers a Saturday fight with Collision, April 27th.
Let's get down to business.
AEW Dynamite Wednesday and Collision Saturday from Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Tickets on sale now at AEWTIX.com.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Spring is here, and you know what that means. Those hot summer days are just around the corner, and so are those high utility bills. Don't sweat it out waiting this summer to upgrade your insulation.
Give us a call today to set up your free evaluation at 904-679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Could you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
Snyderman can help tell you whether it's time to repair or replace your system if you answer 8 quick questions on our website. Visit SnyderAC.com and get your answer in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Ladies and gentlemen, experience the thrill of the Kentucky Derby at Best Bet. Saturday, May 4th, witness the most exciting 2 minutes in sports and dive into the action with live wagering. This could be your lucky day. Mark your calendars and join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine on May 4th for the ultimate Kentucky Derby experience. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Rich Jones here. Investing can be more about just filling a bank account. It's about having a secure retirement, protecting your family. Let DLP Capital help you to protect your why. Here's CEO and founder Don Wenner.
I started DLP Capital with an expectation that I could provide my family, my investors, my team members, and the families of my investors with awesome returns, limited volatility, and no losses, all while providing desperately needed affordable housing to the American workforce.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial *invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org. For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org. and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Raptors forward Jonte Porter has been banned by the NBA for gambling violations. League investigation revealed he disclosed confidential information to sports bettors, limited his own participation in at least one game while he was with Toronto, and bet on NBA games. Pelicans power forward Zion Williamson will miss Friday's play-in game versus Sacramento due to a hamstring injury. The 76ers will likely have their best player on the floor when they face the Heat in the East 7-8 play-in matchup tonight. Joel Embiid, who tweaked his surgically repaired knee last week, is expected to play. One of his teammates, though, will have a big night tonight, predicts ESPN NBA analyst Tim Legler.
Tyrese Maxey might be the headliner coming out of this game tomorrow. What's going to happen tonight? The overcompensation you have to give Joel Embiid is going to create so many opportunities for Tyrese Maxey. I do not think the Heat defensively on the perimeter have what it takes to slow him down. I think he has a huge night and sets the stage for a deep run for Embiid.
After Philly-Miami, it's Hawks Bulls East 9-10 game, 9 Eastern on ESPN Radio, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming on Thursday. Just how many QBs will go in the first round? I'll tell you when I drop my new mock draft at 6:30 Eastern. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Investigative journalism. It's the difference between the Action News Jack style of news and everyone else's.
I'm Ben Becker. This scam is targeting residents on the South Side.
We investigate so you're crystal clear how a story impacts you.
I'm Emily Turner. Look at the fine print because you're still getting billed.
Because our reporters don't just tell you what happened. We break down how it affects you and your neighborhood, which is why people are putting their trust in us. Action News Jacks at 5 and 6. It's local coverage you can count on.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Schachter Show, hanging out with you midweek. Hump Day! 904-362-9901. Hump day, Brian. Midweek, you got to celebrate. I realize you're a face maker. I like calling out your faces.
Okay.
But I don't know what all of them mean yet.
Oh.
So as I learn them, I'll stop asking you and I'll just start accusing you. Can't wait to get to that part of the relationship.
Yeah. The accusatory stage.
That's right. All my relationships get to that part. Hey, we've got someone on the phone, I hear. Ladies and gentlemen, please, everybody rise as His Highness, ESPN 690 royalty, enters King South Beach. Welcome to the Aaron Schachter Show.
You peasants may now be seated.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Gary, what's on your mind today?
What are you doing after I hung up yesterday trying to say who the Dolphins should or shouldn't draft? Look, you stick to the Jags and maybe the Jets. Leave the Dolphins to me, all right?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm the foremost Dolphins expert.
Yes, sir.
On the show, okay?
That is true. You are our Dolphins correspondent.
And there's nothing wrong with adding Brian Thomas, a 6'4" red zone threat. I said they go there or they go O-line. They're not going pass rush, I'm telling you, because Jalen Phillips is fired up. He's got to be back for opening week. And with that news, the Dolphins aren't going to go pass rush. They added Fuller in the quarterback. That was a ridiculous thing that you say they got to go corner. That's about the fifth thing they might do. So you stick to the Jets and the Jags, all right? You leave Miami to the expert.
Okay, couple of things. I understood him. Couple of things.
Understand?
Couple of
You
things,
understand
Gary.
me?
Okay, Gary. Couple of things. Number one, Jalen Phillips, was that an Achilles or was that a knee injury? I think it was
Who cares? He's got to be back. I don't care what it is.
Okay.
He said he's ready.
Right. Okay. So
Do I have to be a doctor for you too? I'm everything else for you.
do I have
to be a doctor too?
Goodness. As a pass rusher who relies on speed, strength as well, but mostly he's a speed guy, I would be a little bit nervous relying on Jalen Phillips to be day one back to where he was when he got hurt. That's all I'm saying. Number two.
Be ready. If I were a doctor, maybe I could cure those Butterfingers from one Trevor Lawrence. Butterfingers Lawrence.
Good one. Number two, I was saying that the Dolphins could use some help at corner because they lost Xavier Howard, who's one of the top corners in the league who they didn't want to pay. I get it. That's fine. I get it. It's fine. And I know you got some help in free agency in the secondary. You definitely need some help on the offensive line. I'm not disagreeing with you. Wide receiver seems, Gary, I'm sorry if it confused you. I'm going to use a big word here, seems superfluous. Wide receiver seems like a luxury the Dolphins can't yet afford in the first round. And quite frankly,
trying to insult my intelligence.
Quite frankly, Brian Thomas Jr. will not be available when the Dolphins pick, unless the Dolphins trade up, which they won't. So that's all I was saying.
You can't have enough weapons. All right? It's an offensive league. It's an offensive league. It's a passing league. Or haven't I gotten that through your thick skull yet? That you run the ball to set up the offense. As Ron Jaworski said, points come out of the passing game, okay? What? That's where points come. Get that through your thick skull.
Brian,
come over there and pound it through your thick skull.
You get that one, Brian? I missed.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I missed that one. Okay. Is that it for Gary? Did he dismiss himself?
Or they were saying Wong Dong Tigers.
We might have
Ni hao.
We might have dismissed. Okay. Good call, Gary. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. We'll see you again tomorrow. Unless you're Brian. If you're Brian, they'll see you again in 3 minutes when you call back to yell at him for something. But the rest of us will see you again tomorrow. Good job. In any case, can we get to some actual real business instead of talking about the Dolphins again with Gary? Can we get to these bad questions by the Jacksonville media contingent? He's already calling Brian back. Okay, he's already back on the phone. We're going to have to do something about that because I'm all about getting Gary on the show. But then he's doing another show in the control room, stealing Brian's focus. I've had just about enough of it. In that case, let's get to these bad questions because I missed the opportunity yesterday, Brian. I missed the opportunity to talk to you about the bad questions that they asked Trevor Lawrence yesterday, and I already fed you one of them from Foye. Let me get you the rest of them. I've already told you, do you look forward to getting back in the building was the first bad question from the Jacksonville media. We've already talked about why this is just a nonsense question. There is somebody in the Jacksonville media who is wasting oxygen asking this question to Foye Oluokun. Here's the next question I thought was awful.
Okay.
With all the changes this offseason, does this feel like a little breath of fresh air for you guys?
What?
Like, here's my beef. Here's my beef. Same problem I have with the first question outside of, like, no one caring about the content.
Okay.
Like, who is chasing down whatever reporter's outlet this is? And again, I kind of forget who it was. I'm going to start bringing audio to the show so we don't have to forget. We could just, have people accept credit for their bad questions. But, like, who is chasing down your publication going, man, I wonder if it's a breath of fresh air. I hope someone's writing a story about this. And number two, my beef is this. You're telling him what to say. Question one.
Leading.
Do you look forward to getting back in the building? If you were going to ask that as a real question, Brian, if you were a journalist, you'd go, how does it make you feel being back in the building?
There you go.
You let the player tell you if it's good or bad. Do you look forward to it? Stop it. Or what about, with all the changes, does this feel like a breath of fresh air? That's a yes or no question, dummy. You're not supposed to ask those.
Actually,
What do you mean by that?
like, what do you mean?
Basically,
Follow the question back up.
All these new coaches and players.
Yeah.
Does this feel good?
Then ask that. Then put that in the actual
I don't
question.
even like that question. How about all these changes? How does that feel for you?
Yeah, well, either one other than the breath of fresh air.
No, but this is someone who has a narrative. This is someone who thought to themselves before the press conference, I bet you Foye is appreciative of all these changes. This must be a breath of fresh air for him. I'm going to ask this brilliant question in the press conference. And I think it was kind of early on, too. This person was like sitting on the question, waiting on it. Waiting. Hitting cleanup. Here I come. How about this one? You talked about not wanting to forget what happened last season. Why is it important to carry that with you?
So here's the deal, right? I understand you got stuff you got to write. You got stuff you got to report on. And sometimes you have to just ask a question that you probably already know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But that still doesn't negate the fact that, like, that's the question.
That's the question.
I got Brent Martineau out here with high, top-tier level questioning, pressing
and
guys.
You know Brent is drooling with thirst and hunger. He went 4 questions this time.
And then you're saying, hey, man.
Why do you care about football?
Why is the loss important? Why is it to remember how you guys lost last year?
It's just an awful, awful, awful question.
Imagine some of these same people on your sidelines, on the press box, or in the press box, on air, TV or radio, and you can't tell them nothing, man. You know? They are experts. Those are the questions.
Not wanting to forget what happened last season.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it important to carry that with you? Well, I kind of like paying a therapist, so what am I going to talk about if not that?
It's a fine line. I will say that's better than your breath of fresh air question.
So if you had to rank them.
Yeah. No, that one, because I understand, especially depending on what kind of outlet they're with, if they're writing something especially, asking a question that you know the answer to, but you need to hear them actually say it to be like, Foye Oluokun said da-da-da-da-da, and, for this. But still, it's just, yeah.
Here's some of the questions from Trev yesterday.
Oh, boy.
You thought the first Foye question was stupid. It's the same question. By the way, these press conferences are not a day apart, even though we're playing the sound a day apart. We just didn't have time yesterday. These were back-to-back press conferences. So if you ask a question in the first one, and then you ask the same question in the second one, it's basically deja vu 20 minutes apart. The question asked to Trevor, do you look forward to these workouts with the team? Do you, bud? Looking forward to it? I know you were just sitting at home with your beautiful wife, working out in your private gym, wherever he's living, Queens Harbor or wherever these guys live these days. He says he lives in Jacksonville. But do you like coming to work, bud? Don't you now? Terrible question.
I mean,
terrible.
It's beyond terrible. Aaron, this really needs to be a segment. I already have it played in my head how it'll work out because I feel like this is a weekly basis after sitting in post-game press conferences as well.
Are you live producing right now, producing on the fly?
Oh, I could start playing it right now.
Wow.
But the Russell Westbrook what?
What?
If you remember, Aaron, and I don't know if you remember how that came about.
I don't remember the question.
It was a post-game press conference, and a reporter asked something super goofy. Russell Westbrook stops for a second and says, what? Then he says some other words that you can't repeat over the airwaves.
I will say, Foye pulled that card a couple of times in his press conference where he goes, what does that mean? I don't really understand.
Oh, that was one of my biggest fears 2 seasons ago when I first went to the postgame.
Yeah.
I didn't ask a question for like the entire first season I was there.
But
I was
you're a young
shook.
cat. I get it. That's
I was
fine.
shook.
As a young guy who's never done it before, you're in front of all your colleagues. You want to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy who's in my mouth the next day calling you a bum.
That's a wild thing that you went with it, huh? Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Personal foul.
Now, go ahead. You're making a point. Felt strongly about that. I just mean...
I don't know. If you're watching the video stream, my face
yeah, you're red, man. You all right?
Red.
Take a sip of water.
Woo.
I'm just saying, Aaron.
It's an accident.
But the reason why I finally broke through in these situations was because I started hearing questions like this, and I was like, not since I was a freshman at Georgia Southern University, writing for that newspaper, have I heard such elementary question asking.
Brian's like, oh, the rim is only 8.5 feet?
You know?
Oh, let's get in.
But my fear is that Trevor looks at me one day and is like, what are you talking about? Not what do you mean by that? What are you talking about?
So I understand this in a young pup who's just trying to prove himself, but this is how most of the media reacts in this town. This is how they all act in this town. I shouldn't say they all. It's rude and it's wrong. It's not how they all act. A lot of them, though, think the goal is to, like, have dinner with Trev, go bowling with Doug. It's like, guys, you're missing the whole point here.
That's never going to happen. They don't like you.
Bad question number 2 in the Trevor press conference. What did you think when you heard about Josh Allen's new contract? Here's why I think this is a bad question. Josh Allen is a team captain. He's the face of the franchise in terms of the defense. Even if Trevor thought the contract was awful, you're not getting it. Right? You're not getting that story.
Right.
But he's not going to think the contract is awful. He's going to say, hey, I'm happy for the guy. And it's literally what he said. I'm happy for the guy. He worked hard. He earned it. And
I'm happy for
the
us.
The franchise is investing in us.
Yeah.
We're better with him here. What is the purpose to your question? You're asking a question to be involved in the press conference. In the same way, Brian, that you were trying very hard to not be involved in the press conference. This is the opposite. Mm-hmm. This is someone taking the opportunity to ask a question because someone has offered them the opportunity to ask, not because they have a question, not because there's a story here bubbling, not because the fans need to know something. They've been given the opportunity, permission to ask a question in the press conference. And so they take the opportunity and ask a question that makes nobody's life any different.
I will say, Aaron, okay, most of these I agree on.
You don't agree on this.
This is the one where I'm like, nah, somebody has to ask this question.
Then what are you getting out of it? Tell me.
You're getting what you already know, but this is one of the ones where you have to, hey, Trevor Lawrence said this about the contract. We talked to Trevor, and he said not only is he happy for Foye, this is somebody who we need on the team, da-da-da-da-da. Like, you have to ask that kind of simple question. I'm not knocking that person, whoever that is.
Okay.
The rest of these, yes, but not this one right here. No.
Sorry, Brian, we got breaking news.
Breaking news.
You've just changed my mind a little bit.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and take this off Trev's list.
There we go.
Because you're not wrong. While I still hate the question.
Yes.
And I still think it's, like, essentially useless.
It is.
I do agree with you that if you're looking for content, the contract was just signed, getting a quote from the face of the franchise on offense, getting a quote from the generational cornerstone of your franchise is relevant. Okay.
Look at you, man. And that's why you win, Aaron. You can admit when you might be wrong. I don't even know if you were wrong.
I literally just lost. Now you're telling me I won. Here's the thing. I am a big I told you so guy.
Yeah, you are.
But I don't feel,
yes, you are.
I don't feel like it's fair to be an I told you so guy if you can't also give someone props for when they're right. I don't need to be right. I love being right. And I understand when other people are right, they want that credit too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I love being right. Not always right. Ask my wife. She knows. That's for sure.
She's always right, though. I bet you.
Is she listening? Can you look at the listener list, see if she's listening?
Ask her today. Question her and be like, are you always right?
To this day, she'll say.
No.
To this day.
I'm never ready.
To this day.
I got to change that spot on the hotkey. Never ready for that.
Last bad Trevor question, unless you prove me wrong again, which is entirely possible.
It doesn't sound like you think it's possible by the tone and tenor of your voice just now, but okay.
How important can this time be for getting together with Gabe Davis? How important can this time be for getting together with Gabe Davis? Here's why I hate the question.
Yeah.
Because like the whole offseason is about getting to know your new guys, offense and defense. If you're Trevor Lawrence, you want to throw with your receivers that you haven't thrown with before. You want to get to know these guys. But like that's the whole point to the offseason activities. You bring the team together.
Yeah, you got to reword that. That's lazy. That felt lazy to me.
It was lazy.
That's lazy question asking right there. Yeah.
What are you and Gabe Davis doing to become more in tuned with each other?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Don't tell me if it's important. Tell me the steps you are taking to be better. Tell me what you are doing to reach that Super Bowl you guys often talk about. Don't tell me you're holding each other accountable. Tell me how. Don't tell me you're getting to know each other. Tell me how. Or don't talk about it. None of your business should be the answer to that question. Could you imagine? Trev's up at the
That'd be a
podium.
story.
They're like, hey, man, how important is it for you to get with Gabe Davis at this time? None of your business.
To this day.
Now, that'd be a story right there.
Stop asking.
I bet you won't ask them dumb questions no more.
If I was ever a pro athlete, my press conferences would be filled with answers like that. If nothing else, just for fun.
You'd be press conference gold.
Just funnin', guys. None of your business. Kick rocks. I saw your story last week. I'd be doing that all the time. I'd be keeping receipts. I would quote them from my phone. Ooh, it'd be a bitter press conference.
They say you'd be doing everything but bringing the Jets a championship.
Well,
like your current
that's secondary.
quarterback.
That's secondary. Primary would be having fun at the press conference. Then I'd worry about the career on the field.
That's great.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. We spent so much time on the press conferences. I forgot to mention, coming up next segment, it's a Brian Middleton production.
There you go.
A little bit of this or that for the folks here at the Aaron Schachter Show. Back on ESPN 690 in a minute.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly to mostly sunny and warm today. Highs in the upper 80s. Comfortable tonight in the lower 60s and partly sunny tomorrow. Your Thursday high, 88. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jags.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamond. April means it's buy one, get one on wedding bands, only at Beard's Diamonds.
Hi, I'm Elton John. In 1981, the first case of AIDS was diagnosed in the United States. More than 40 years later, we have the tools and medicine to beat AIDS. My foundation is bringing HIV testing and care to underserved and vulnerable communities. If you share my vision of a world where everyone is treated with love, respect, and dignity, join me. Learn more about the Rocket Fund at eltonjohnaidsfoundation.org. Follow us at EJAF on Instagram. Thank you.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Get rid of that pain in your joints so you can enjoy some of this beautiful weather in Northeast Florida. The future of medicine is here with QC Kinetics, and all you have to do is get a free consultation and take care of that pain. 904-274-5522. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades. Regenerative medicine. You need to call QC Kinetics now if you're tired of those achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love to do. Surgery, steroids, drugs? No, those aren't the options anymore. We've got a better option with QC Kinetics. Regenerative medicine is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing, Dr. Scheinkup is a pioneer in this field, and he wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. So call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Lester, the founder of Talon Wealth and the host of the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. Like you, I love this country, and I'm very thankful for those that protect us along with our freedoms. That's why for active military and active first responders, if you decide to work with us, Talon Wealth isn't going to charge you any advisor fees. We're happy to explain all the details, but most importantly, thank you for your service.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com to find out more.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
Attention all pickleballers, get ready to drink in the first ever Smoothie King Crown Cup on April 27th. Flex your skills and raise funds to benefit the Mal Washington Youth Foundation. Visit malwashington.com for details and registration.
Jacksonville is the largest city in the contiguous U.S. in square miles. So when you have to cover breaking news over an area bigger than L.A., Phoenix, or Dallas, you need an advantage. Action News Jax, with a fleet of news-gathering drones to take you to breaking news live as it happens. And with more investigative reporters on the ground. In every local county, you're informed no matter where you live. Action News Jax. Local coverage you can count on.
Jacksonville, Florida. AEW is coming home to restore the feeling.
I am the feeling.
For two huge events live from Daly's Place. All Elite Wrestling presents Dynamite on Wednesday, April 24th, and delivers a Saturday fight with Collision, April 27th.
Let's get down to business.
AEW Dynamite Wednesday and Collision Saturday from Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Tickets on sale now at AEWTIX.com.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Beards Diamonds always drives the big diamond store crazy with their direct from the cutter best pricing. But this time of year, they get very agitated.
Did you hear that?
What?
Beards is doing it again! The BOGO on wedding bands!
Yes, Beards Diamonds' most popular sale is back.
All wedding bands are buy one, get one free.
Plus, all stackables, all right-hand rings, all eternity bands, and more are buy one, get one free.
Couples wait for this sale all year.
Choose from hundreds of the latest styles from famous designers at beardsdiamonds.com.
Or shop in person to see the largest collection of wedding bands in North Florida at the guaranteed lowest price.
Buy any wedding band and get the other band free.
Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Now you can go bigger and better with the band she's always dreamed of during Beard's Buy One, Get One sale, going on now.
Remember, don't buy anywhere until you shop Beards Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. Come have lunch with us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and listen to the Young and Norvell Show on ESPN 690.
Back on the Aaron Schachter Show, we'll get to this or that, a Brian Middleton production in mere minutes. But Brian, I just saw something on the internet that caught my attention. Actually, the news came out last night. Did you hear about this? Elon Musk has now confirmed that new users on X will soon have to pay to engage, to post, to like, to bookmark, and to do other activities on the platform.
I didn't hear that, man. I thought that already happened.
So it was a while back they were testing this feature in the Philippines and New Zealand. Basically, it was back in October, and users there woke up getting charged $1 to post in those countries.
Like per post?
No. I think it's like pay this to join. Elon says this is what's going to stop the bots. His theory is that these bot farms don't have owners that are willing to spend, $10,000 for all 10,000 of their accounts that are bots. But I don't know, man. It's one thing to say that about like this dude who you buy likes from, because that goes on, right? Where like you'll get someone who works over at 1010 and they go, oh, my Twitter's not up to speed. Let me buy some likes and follows. And so those bot farms exist. And Elon's like, well, those people aren't going to pay for it. Okay, fine. But there are other professional bot farms, this country and others, where they're making millions of dollars or doing something even more nefarious, something even more evil, sowing dissension in the ranks. Those places, if you read about the Russia bot farms or the India bot farms, the Pakistani bot for the Iranian bot farms.
Oh, you're shooting at everybody. Okay.
I'm just saying, I've listened to multiple podcasts on this. I am an absolute expert. Maybe. But it sounds like these countries are absolutely willing to pay that money. They're nation-state actors. That's a drop in the bucket. You're going to turn to Putin, and they're going to be like, yeah, you can't afford 10 grand.
This really is going from OKB AM to FM.
Saying, it's not a political thing.
Putin?
It's not a political thing. I'm just saying the nation-states with the bot farms, and I'm sure America's got them too.
Like Aaron Hannity, everybody.
I'm just saying.
No, but that's wild, though. Are you paying?
Conspiracy theory.
Are you going to pay?
I don't have to. You don't have to. It looks like he's only talking about new users. But he's claiming this is how it's going to stop the bots. This is a quote. Unfortunately, a small fee for new user right access is the only way to curb the relentless onslaught of bots.
Okay.
What about all the bots that are there already? He's not charging them. If this is only for new users, like who are you actually catching? Who are you catching in your wide net of money charging? He hasn't clarified when the small fee may be required for the new users. He's only confirmed in a later post that any new users who avoid paying the fee will be able to post after 3 months. So the publication that wrote this created new accounts on the web and in the app. Neither sign-up required any fees yet. So not here yet, but it is coming. I am curious if we get to the point, because we all know that the platform itself, Twitter, X, it's not profitable. He's been losing money.
He's still losing money?
I mean, really, almost all of them are.
Yeah.
Outside of like Facebook and Instagram, who are owned by the same company. Snapchat hasn't made a profit. It's been over a decade. Twitter, losing money all the time. Elon Musk threatened to buy it and then opened their books and went, whoa.
You can have it back.
Maybe not. And they're like, we'll take you to court. You're buying this thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, fine. To me, it just seems like he's trying to like at least make out with some of this money.
I guess it's not a bad idea.
I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
So you think there's a world without X?
I just think there are too many startups and venture capitalists who will start up their own Twitter. There's already Mastodon. Granted, people don't want to use it yet. And Threads, again, people don't really want to use it yet but they exist. If Twitter shut down tomorrow, something would take its place.
Well, that's true.
So you can't be the only platform charging people money, and your platform's getting worse, not better. At least as far as everything concerns that's not video. In video, it's actually getting a little bit better. That's just my personal take on the thing. But all right, I won't waste any more of your time, Brian. It's your floor for a segment you like to call This or That.
It's a great intro, by the way. Thank you. Aaron Schachter, do I need to remind you the rules of This or That, man?
Please, let's review.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to give you a subject. I'll give you two options with this music playing in the background, which I believe is a James Brown sample.
It is a James Brown sample.
Yeah, that's what I believe. And from Black Sheep, as Aaron pointed out to me last week. And Aaron, after I give you the two options, all you got to do is tell me this one or that one and why. It's simple.
I like that you remembered. It's like you're taking notes in that room.
Oh, yeah. Notes in the brain, man. Notes in the brain. Aaron Schachter, let's go ahead and get started, man.
Let's do it.
First subject. Saltier.
Saltier.
Yeah.
What is saltier? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. The Atlantic Ocean or some of these WNBA players when talking about freshly drafted Caitlin Clark. I don't know if you've heard any of them.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's a little bit.
Saltier.
I mean, clearly, I've been swimming in the Atlantic Ocean multiple points in my life. I've had the unfortunate experience of having the Atlantic Ocean enter my body.
Mouth wide open, huh?
Oof. Sometimes through the nose and the sinuses. It is not fun. It is extremely salinated. Very salty. But for some reason, Brian, everybody who plays against this woman, or really even just watches her, kind of hates Caitlin Clark. What is all the hatred? I think it's the ladies getting drafted on draft night saltier than the Atlantic Ocean when it comes to Caitlin Clark. And out of all this saltiness, is so funny. You know who actually gave her flowers? Angel Reese.
Yeah.
The girl she had beef with last year.
Yeah. With that blowback after a while.
I guess.
Angel said, I ain't making the same mistake twice.
I guess. Maybe. But I feel like Caitlin got some blowback too. Like both of those girls lost. And I'm sure they're fine with each other. But the rest of the public had beef with it.
Have you heard some of the WNBA players, though, man? Let me walk you through it. Diana Taurasi, have you seen the clip of her?
I haven't seen Diana Taurasi's clip.
Yeah. So if you read the manuscript, you'd be like, what's wrong with what she said? You would have to hear how she said it as well.
It was in the tone you're saying.
Yeah, it was very, wait till you get here. It's a whole new level, which I paraphrased that, by the way. Taurasi wasn't wrong. She's not wrong. WNBA, I assume, is a whole new level than college, I guess. But Caitlin Clark, who, like most athletes, if I can talk, from middle school to high school to college to whatever the pros look like for them, whether it's overseas or here in America, they always understand that at the next level, there's a jump and it's a change. If you get a chance and you care, go back and listen to it, man. Very, very drop the ball-y, where they could have been like, hey, you know what? She is great. There'll be some challenges for her, but it'd be great. So, I just didn't know if you had a thought on that. Yeah, Atlantic Ocean, very salty. That's where I learned how to swim. My dad had me in the Atlantic Ocean, mouth just wide open.
Just 3
gallons of salt water.
No warning or nothing.
Like,
you were laying on the couch, he grabbed you by the scruff and tossed you.
No, yeah, something like that.
I met your dad. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to do that.
No, he's in the Navy. He's like, yo, you gonna learn how to swim. Anyway, classic gaming, Aaron Schachter. Right. Classic gaming.
Classic gaming.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Ooh. That's tough.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm going to give the slight edge to Street Fighter. I loved Mortal Kombat. I didn't go like...
It don't sound like it.
5 iterations deep, but I loved finish him, fatality. Yeah. Loved Mortal Kombat. And the movie was dope, too. The last one they did.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Not the first one, but the last one. That being said, I took Street Fighter from arcade game to Nintendo game back to an arcade game. Like, this thing has had 3 generations in my life and has been dope every time.
Okay.
And at 44 years old, almost 45 years old, having not played that game in over a decade, I still kind of remember how to do the Hadouken. And the Hot Spots Puerto Rican as well.
The what?
Hot Spots Puerto Rican.
Okay, my bad, man.
That's the spinning kick.
I was unfamiliar with your game, man.
Hot Spots Puerto Rican.
That was actually dangerously close to the sound.
You can.
Wow. Okay. So you are going with Street Fighter.
Yes, man.
All right, man. Next up. Bigger Truth Teller.
Ooh.
Bigger Truth Teller.
Who is the truth teller?
Maury Povich paternity test.
Ooh, it's a good one.
Or Merrill Hodge discussing Drake May.
Oh,
Bigger
really
truth teller.
Putting me on the spot. Two of my faves.
Yeah.
Here's the.
I mean, Merrill Hodge. It's just like.
Look at you trying to talk me away from Maury Povich. Here's the deal. I'm leaning Merrill Hodge.
Okay.
The problem is that Maury on TV sometimes would have to fake some of those shows. So, like, I don't know which ones were faked. I'm not going to guess because all of it was entertaining. I mean, "You are not the father" was an iconic slogan.
Absolutely.
That was a lie. Iconic slogan. The test determined that was a lie. Iconic. You can put both those on a T-shirt. Everyone knows what you're talking about. But my guy Merrill Hodge absolutely speaks the truth. My guy Merrill Hodge out here saying it where nobody's got the guts to say it. He's out there. He's putting his neck out there. He's saying Caleb Williams, not what you think he is. Drake May, gonna get you fired.
Said UFL Drake May.
He didn't even say that. He said the GM will be in the UFL. Come on.
All right, so which one did you go with? Merrill Hodge?
I went with Merrill.
Nice, man.
I love Maury Povich, but I'm going with Merrill Hodge.
Elite disrespect, Aaron Schachter. Elite disrespect.
Ooh.
Drake's latest diss track to Kendrick, Metro, Future, all those other guys.
All the guys.
Or your disrespect to Margot Robbie, which I'm not letting go. I brought it up in about 3 straight shows.
Which was bigger disrespect?
Yeah, more elite disrespect.
I don't really feel like my disrespect was that disrespectful.
Of course you don't. You're biased. Okay.
I'm just saying, all I did was say her name is Margot.
Choose Drake. No, and then you went into her acting career. Don't do that. Multiple times.
I did say that she didn't do a great job in a couple of movies. I don't feel like, are you saying Drake's track was, I don't feel like it was disrespectful. It was self-defense.
Okay.
Self-defense, and by the way, crushed it. Crushed it so hard, I believe we're going to break down that track in a future show, maybe even this week. Depends on how much news we have the next couple of days.
Heard.
Now, I'm going with the more blatant disrespect was probably me to Margot Robbie.
Hey, you know what? Self-awareness, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
2 more, Aaron Schachter. 2 more. Less likely to last, okay?
The Aaron Schachter Show.
It should have been one of them. A student athlete staying with the university they started with.
A student athlete's thing with the university they started with.
Yeah.
You mean like their playing career?
A student athlete staying with the university.
Oh, staying.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's me enunciating.
Okay.
I told you about the...
All right.
It had the impediments. A student athlete staying with the university they started with.
Okay.
Or a marriage in America in 2024.
Well, joke's on you, Brian. Divorce rates are falling and have been for a very long time.
Yeah, you gotta show me that.
I mean, I'll pull it up if I can do 2 things at once. But you can give it a goog while I'm going off here. What was the other one? A professional athlete staying. Yeah.
Student athlete.
Now, here's the thing, though.
Transfer portal.
Transfer portal is big. In the NBA, it's not even about, in college basketball, it's not even about transfer portal. It's just about one and dones. I mean, it's just, you're not wrong. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm going with the college athlete in this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Less likely to last, huh?
The divorce rates are not very high. Now, does it have to be in Florida or is it just the country?
America. United States.
All right, because I remember in the 90s and the 80s, that thing was like damn near close to 50%.
I think it's still there, Aaron.
This is from Google, so it's probably true. It's actually a study done by Bowling Green University.
Like where?
Divorce.
Somewhere in Ohio?
That's Kentucky. That divorce.com has posted.
Divorce.com?
Yeah, well, if you're going to look for divorce stats, you're going to divorce.com. The divorce rate in the United States has been trending downward since 2008.
Yeah, what's the number?
It reached a 40-year low.
Okay.
40-year low of 14 divorces per 1,000 married women in 20 and 21. In 22, the rate rose slightly to 14.5 per 1,000. The overall trend has remained downward. In 21, the rate was 2.5 per 1,000 people. That's almost 69% lower than the average of 3.5 per 1,000 people in 2010.
Whoa, not 1,000 married people, 1,000 people. And also, people aren't getting married more. Aaron, I don't got time. I got one more. Actually, we don't have time for one more. Let me make the argument on this.
Just interrupted yourself twice.
In the break, let me look up something because the divorce rate is still around 50%. But my overall point was, you think that the transfer portal for college athletes is more unstable for their career at one spot than getting married
because
in the United
people
States of
aren't
America.
getting divorced. They're
not getting married.
They're getting married later. Yes, which is why the divorce rate is down. Because when you're in your 30s, you're like, how much time do I have left to find someone else if I leave?
Is that the...
Maybe. I don't know. I'm happily married for the second time.
Look at you. Look at you. Huh?
I was part of that divorce rate issue a long time ago.
Oh, boy. That's it for this or that, Aaron.
All right. This or that, a Brian Middleton production on the Aaron Schachter Show. It was fun. I don't know if there's winners and losers in that game. I'm just here to play along and have a good time.
No, it's all about you, man. It's all about you and what you like.
Well, in that case, this is the Aaron Schachter Show. You got one more shot to call in if you're not South Beach. 904-362-9901. Got a couple more tricks up our sleeves. How about this? We got enough time to talk about it. Can the Denver Broncos put the Jaguars over the top in the AFC South? I'll tell you what I'm talking about coming up next on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Let's face it, work sucks, but you do get a lunch break. That's where the Young and Norvell Show comes in weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690, featuring me, Terry Norvell, and former Gator basketball star and current SEC Network analyst Patrick Young. Let's face it, Hollywood has been fresh out of ideas for 25 years. So don't waste your valuable lunch break on the same old tired TV and movie shows. Tune in to the Young and Norvell Show, where we promise to make you laugh, think, get angry, but most important, you will have fun. It will quickly become your favorite part of the day. The Young and Norvell Show, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Rich Jones here. If you're an investor who's interested in doing well while doing good, getting solid returns on your investments while making a positive impact, consider investment funds with DLP Capital. Here's Don Winter, CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital, to tell you more.
With the current housing shortage in the U.S., investing in real estate, especially workforce housing, is one of the safest and most reliable places to invest. We invest in affordable housing for hardworking people and generate amazing returns for each of our investors.
To get your investor's guide and find out more, dial ** Invests from your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Investigative journalism. It's the difference between the Action News Jack style of news and everyone else's.
I'm Ben Becker. This scam is targeting residents on the South Side.
We investigate so you're crystal clear how a story impacts you.
I'm Emily Turner. Look at the fine print, because you're still getting billed.
Because our reporters don't just tell you what happened. We break down how it affects you and your neighborhood, which is why people are putting their trust in us. Action News Jacks at 5 and 6. It's local coverage you can count on.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Koala, koala, koala insulation.
Hey,
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carey.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Spring is here, and you know what that means. Those hot summer days are just around the corner, and so are those high utility bills. Don't sweat it out waiting this summer to upgrade your insulation.
Give us a call today to set up your free evaluation at 904-679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Attention all pickleballers, get ready to drink in the first ever Smoothie King Crown Cup on April 27th. Flex your skills and raise funds to benefit the Mal Washington Youth Foundation. Visit malwashington.com for details and registration.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items like the self-leveling green laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect Pass-Through Socket Set for $49.98, which you can only find at Lowe's. Shop Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Touch a Truck is back. Saturday, April 20th at the Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come see fire trucks, police cars, school buses, and more. It's National Healthy Kids Day, so come out and get active. Get your free tickets and more info at ESPN690.com.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Very quickly, let's jump back into it. Brian, you were trying to figure out if you were right or wrong when it came to the divorce stuff. It sounds like you figured out you were...
Both?
Wrong, I think is what you're looking for.
Okay.
Wrong. You were wrong.
Maybe.
No?
Both.
Sounds like you copped to it in the break.
Nah, it sounded like, you might have had a point with one, minute area of divorce. But overall, the percentage-wise, were in my favor.
So you're telling me I was right?
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
All right, I'll take the win.
Got to.
That's a win. Hey, I asked before we went to break, can the Denver Broncos help the Jacksonville Jaguars come out on top of the AFC South? What the hell am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about a new report out of Denver, talking about two specific players and a team report to partner with it. First and foremost, Courtland Sutton is sitting out the team activities. Courtland Sutton is not happy with his contract. Courtland Sutton has been the subject of trade rumors for a season and a half now. And it sounds like after the Broncos moved on from Jerry Jeudy, that they might be looking to move on from Courtland Sutton. So here come the Jacksonville Jaguars with $31 million of cap space, and maybe it's not T. Higgins, and maybe it's not Brandon Ayuk. Maybe it's Courtland Sutton. I'd be down with that.
Would you?
Oh, 100% in a heartbeat. I love Courtland Sutton.
I mean, great season last year as far as I know, but that moves the needle the same way that T. Higgins does for you?
This is a guy who is extremely efficient when it comes to the end zone.
Okay.
This is something the Jaguars need. They need an end zone threat. They thought they had it in Calvin Ridley. They could have it in Courtland Sutton. But part two of the conversation is another player they're trying to move either before or by the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like Pat Surtain II is on the block.
Nah, that's something.
Patrick Surtain. Now, if you're talking about the Jaguars still needing a corner, Pat Surtain, who I believe runs a tight man-to-man coverage, Pat Surtain could be available for the taking. I take you back a couple of weeks ago because a guy who's a similar age to Pat Surtain in a different contract situation got traded from the Chiefs to the Titans, L'Jarius Sneed. That trade cost the Titans a third and a seventh. A 2024 seventh. It was a pick swap with the Titans for the seventh rounders in 24. But the Chiefs also got a third rounder for Sneed. It was basically a third rounder for Sneed. If you're the Jaguars, you're giving up a third rounder for Pat Surtain.
Yesterday.
In a heartbeat.
Yesterday.
I got news for you. I don't think Balky would agree with me. I'm not sure the fan base would agree with me. Some would. I'm giving up the first rounder. I'm giving up pick 17 for Pat Surtain. Maybe it matters that he'd need to be signed to a new deal because that's the whole reason he wants out of there.
Yeah, I need to know more before I say that.
But you got the money. You have the money. Moves that you're holding on to the money for. You want to go into the season with $30 million of cap space and then come in second or third place in the AFC South?
How many 6th-round picks are involved with this deal as well that we get back?
Send them all.
Okay.
You don't need them.
Okay. Oh, no, not us sending them.
Well, you had like 13 of them last year.
You need more. You never have enough. Never have enough.
Pat Surtain or Courtland Sutton, I'm down with it. Give it to me. The question is this. The thinking is that the Broncos want to move up for a quarterback. Well, 17 ain't going to cut it. Broncos picked before that. I think they're at 13. Maybe that's the Raiders. They're somewhere in that area. But the reality is, if you've got the 17 also, or an extra second rounder, or an extra third, whatever the Jags would have to part with, you can package these picks like the Vikings are being rumored to do, and the Broncos could move up. Or the Broncos can draft the left tackle that they need, or a defensive end that they need, or a new corner that they need if they're getting rid of Pat Surtain, or a wide receiver that they need if they're getting rid of Courtland Sutton, and still have another pick to get the quarterback. I mean, if you're drafting Bo Nix or Michael Penix, you don't have to do it in the top 15.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible the Broncos could cure what's ailing the Jaguars fan base. Which one of those two guys are you taking? You want Surtain?
Yeah, I'll take Surtain first. Absolutely.
Are you turning down Sutton?
Well, it's not turning down, but based off of that, this or that, if you're asking me who I would want more, I'm taking Surtain.
Okay. What are your thoughts on taking Sutton and putting him on this team?
Yeah, I think it would be beneficial. Absolutely. I think it'd be nothing but a net positive. But if
Courtland
I'm looking
Sutton,
at
Christian Kirk, Zay Jones,
I'm
Evan
looking
Ingram,
at it. I'm
Travis
looking
Etienne.
at secondary with Surtain and a healthy Tyson Campbell.
Both options are great.
Andre Sisco back there somewhere.
Hell,
maybe Antonio Johnson doing something.
All the draft picks. Take both players. Give them all the draft picks and some free jerseys.
Ryan Nielsen somewhere pressing everybody. Pump blocking every play. Press. Nobody deeper than 5 yards.
Huge win for the Jaguars. They come away with either one of those players. I don't care what it costs. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. It's been a fun day today. We'll be back again tomorrow with more. Maybe we'll even break down that Drake diss track. I'm looking forward to that. We'll see you guys tomorrow on ESPN 690.
Ladies and gentlemen, experience the thrill of the Kentucky Derby at Best Bet. Saturday, May 4th, witness the most exciting 2 minutes in sports and dive into the action with live wagering. This could be your lucky day. Mark your calendars and join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine on May 4th for the ultimate Kentucky Derby experience. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey folks, this is the time of year I get the itch to start de-junking the house and doing some deep cleaning. At Zerorez, our mission is to become the most trusted provider in our industry. We know that trust is earned through honesty, know-how, and good old-fashioned hard work. We would love the chance to earn your trust. For April, Zerorez is offering 25% off on all floor cleaning services. That's 25% off the cleaning of your carpets, tile and grout, vinyl and wood floors, and your area rugs. Zerorez, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerorez. Snyderman, can you jump really high? Can you turn invisible?
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Then no.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
If your AC is running but not cooling, making loud noises, or your home's too humid, now you can schedule an appointment online at SnyderAC.com.
You're my hero, Snyderman. CAC 1813307.
Hey, Duval Picklers. We've seen you on the courts and at the clubs drinking it in. Think you're ready to throw down for a real competition? Come flex your pickleball skills on Saturday, April 27th at the first ever Smoothie King Crown Cup. These fun and games will benefit the Mal Washington Youth Foundation. All levels are welcome. Visit malwashington.com for details and registration.
Beard's Diamonds always drives the big diamond store crazy with their direct from the cutter best pricing. But this time of year, they get very agitated.
Did you hear that? What? Beard's is doing it again! The BOGO on wedding bands!
Yes, Beard's Diamonds' most popular sale is back.
All wedding bands are buy one, get one free.
Plus, all stackables, all right-hand rings, all eternity bands, and more are buy one, get one free.
Couples wait for this sale all year.
Choose from hundreds of the latest styles from famous designers at beardsdiamonds.com.
Or shop in person to see the largest collection of wedding bands in North Florida at the guaranteed lowest price.
Buy any wedding band and get the other band free.
Beard's Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Now you can go bigger and better with the band she's always dreamed of during Beard's Buy One, Get One sale, going on now.
Remember, don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Jackson.